Hello. Today I'm going to talk about how to play the guitar. So this is basically the first lesson I do when I teach somebody how to play the guitar. First off is basically how to hold this hunk of wood. So the first thing you do is pick up the guitar, and you can see right here, they call this a rib. You put it on your leg here, and I put my arm like this, and you want to hold the guitar without actually having your hands on it. So this is one way of doing it. And we're all a little bit taller and shorter and various sizes. So this is the traditional way that you play dreadnought shaped guitar. Other ways, what I call classical position, and is by putting it on your left, the ribbon in the left thigh like that, and you hold like this. So I go between this and the classical one all the time when I play guitar. The next thing you need to know how to do is how to actually tune the guitar. So you need some type of point of reference, a piano tuner. Today now you have cell phones and your iPads and what else. You can download a free piece of tuning software that comes along with it. So once you get that relationship there, and this is the 6th string here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The big string is 6. I hit this, and then I come down to the 5th fret, and that's going to be the same pitch as the open 5th string. Same thing on this one here. Same thing, 5th fret again for the 3rd string. And this is the only one that's different. It's the 3rd string, which is 4. And then it goes back to 5. So the tune would be 5, 5, 5, 5. Sorry, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5. And be honest, using an electric tuner makes your life a lot easier. Okay, so let's go over some notes. The first thing I usually teach folks are a couple of easy chords at first, and then as well as some easy, basically first position notes. So to kind of get your fingers limber up, I'm going to start off with actually showing you the notes. This here is the E string. That's open E, and you can use your thumb if you want to, or if you use a pick, you can use a pick like that. So I'm going to hit open. That's E. F is first finger, 1st fret, and notice how I get right close to that fret. I'm not over the fret though, because that goes to the next pitch. I'm not on the fret. It gives you kind of a dull sound. Get as close to that fret as you can. That gives you that. That's F, and same thing with G. So in first position, each finger has its own fret. So the first finger is always going to be the 1st fret, second fret, 3rd, and 4th. Okay, so E is open, F, and G. E, F, G. Okay. The B string is open B. Now you got a choice, because the other one you were doing what they call free stroke, because there's no other strings above it. Now on the 2nd string, you can do something called a rest stroke, and that's where I actually rest my thumb on the 1st string there. Or a free stroke is when I miss it. Can you hear the difference in sound? Rest stroke, free stroke. So if I play fast, I usually use a free stroke. If I want something nice and solid for melody-wise, I usually use a rest stroke. And I can do that with a pick also. I don't do it as much with a pick, but you can do a rest stroke with a pick. So B is open. C is 1st finger, 1st fret. D is 3rd finger, 3rd fret. So B is open, C, and D. Good. All right, the G string. G is open, and then we have A is 2nd finger, 2nd fret. So G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A. Very good. And a couple other strings. Let's go ahead and get going. D is the 4th string. E is the 2nd fret. F is the 3rd fret. D, E, A, D, E, A, D, E, A, D, E, A, D, E, A. And notice my fret. When I'm fretting, I'm getting as close to that fret as I can without going over. Okay, A string is open. B is 2nd fret, and C is 3rd fret. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. And then finally, the 6th string, which is also E, but it's 2 octaves lower. E, F, G, so E, F is is on the first fret and G is on the third. E, F, G, E, F, G, E, F, G. And if I put it all together, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So those are those in an open position. And then of course you can go backwards. G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. Okay? Very good. Now I'm going to show you the two easy chords right off the bat. Take your first finger, put it on the first fret of the first string, and I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to give it kind of a thumbs up, like hey, and you can relax your hand just a little bit, and I'm going to strum the first 4 strings. That's a G7 chord. Okay. Then I'm going to take my first finger and put it on the first fret of the second string, and see how it's arced over because I want to touch that one fret there, and 3 strings, and that's C. So here's G7, here's C. G7, C, G7, C. Okay, good. And now, once you get that conquered, you can learn your first song, which is He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. And you change the chords every time you say the word whole, except for last time, which is hands. So we'll start with the C chord, G7, C, G7, C. So here we go. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 And there you go. Now you got your first song that you play with chords. Then the next chord that I show is the D7 chord. Just like this. Second finger on the second fret of the first string. First finger on the first fret of the second string, and your third finger, actually your second finger on the second fret of the third string, and it's a 4-string chord. And it's D7. And what you want to do is get to a point where your fingers go right to it automatically, and it's going to take a while, obviously. At first, just go up a little bit and keep touching the strings, and have all 3 fingers touch at the same time. You want all your fingers, and eventually you'll get above the strings, and eventually you can just do like what I did, just go right to it when I think of chords. So that's that. Okay. And then I'll show you the G chord, and this is the way I play the G chord, like this. I know a lot of folks play it this way, and it's not wrong. This way works a little bit better than the key of G, so that's usually the first key I teach folks how to play guitar in, so that's what I'm going to show you all. Take your third finger, put it on the third fret of the 6th string. Second finger goes on the second fret of the 5th string, and your pinky goes on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And it's a 6-string chord. Yeah, there you go. So the whole chord is being strummed there. Alright, and then finally the last chord to complete the key of G would be the C chord. And so first finger goes on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Second finger goes on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and the 3rd finger goes on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And this is a 5-string chord. So there's a C chord there. And same thing, like that same technique I talked about for the D7 chord, you can do it for the C chord and for the G chord. The G chord's going to probably take a while because you probably haven't used your pinky a whole lot. But once you conquer that, you can play a lot of songs. Because this is called the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5-7 chord. Back to 1. So a lot of rock and roll, a lot of country music uses the 1/4. A lot of folk songs use the 1/4 and 5/7. And so if you can play in the key of G, you can play in a lot of keys. And you get you a device called a capo. You can transpose and go to different keys. So wherever this finger starts at, this is an A note. I'm in the key of A now. Here. Now I'm in the key of C. Anyway, so that's a little bit of a capo go along with that. So that's the basis of guitar. If you can play that, you can play all notes in open position. You can play the 1, 4, 5, 7 chords. You can basically play guitar, and from that point there, you can do a lot of other fun things. So, hope you enjoy this 10-minute lesson on how to play guitar. Probably it'll take you a couple months if you never play guitar to conquer all these things. And of course, use the other resources on YouTube and the internet to be able to get more function on these things. Anyways, rock and roll, 2012.